Hello Bots and Bits fans, and welcome back to another episode of Today I have something special for you. We're taking a good look at a review sample of the DX9 X34B Plissken, their Legends scale Nemesis Prime. Hilariously trolled as Masterpiece Prime version 3. Good show to whoever come up with that. People are still falling for it. Now this review sample was sent to me by showzstore.com. Head over to their website and take a look. They have both this and the prime coloured version of Dutch up for pre-order. Pretty sure Dutch is just about due out or may have just come out. Either way, head over there and take a look. Drop a pre-order if you want one. I'm sure they'll be able to help you out. Now if you're paying attention, you may have seen that my Plissken is missing something. And that is one of his smokestacks snapped off. This was shipped to me loose, no instructions, just the truck and his accessories. No fault of Show-Z, no fault of DX9. The box took some damage getting here, and unfortunately, because he was loose, that's just come off. Nothing a bit of super glue won't fix. Alrighty, he's all fixed. Now, I think looks pretty good for what it is. And what is it? A 9cm truck is what it is. So detail-wise, pretty impressive. You can still see a lot of the bot. I mean, these toes aren't really too well hidden. It's got the classic G1 Prime transformation. Arms come out here, head comes out the back, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. But apart from that, considering its size, it's got some great detail. And quite a few paint apps as well. So for truck details, we have these typical translucent red Nemesis Prime windows. There's nothing behind it. It's clear plastic with a black backing. Silver here on the windshield wipers. This one's a little bit more worn than the other, but yeah, it's serviceable. A couple of silver headlights there. Bit of silver here with that teal turquoise color. It's all got a little bit of a metallic finish, except this section in the middle, which is like a gray. It's different to these two sides. Bit of silver on the side here, a bit more here on the leg. I do have a bit of scratching. That could have been from being shipped loose. Yeah. Other side looks nice and tidy. Plastic has a bit of a matte finish to it, and it looks good. But what I am noticing is you got injection points. So you got an injection point there, injection point there, injection point there, injection point there. You've got this weird sort of sinking plastic here with the mold line in it. No crazy sprue marks though. The rest of it is all tidied up pretty nicely. So not perfect, but still I think pretty serviceable. All the wheels move, but they are quite stiff. These ones here appear to be on pin joints, but these wheels here are on like a pressure sort of clamp. I'm not sure what the term is. Can you see that in there? It's sort of like a pressure thing, and they're quite stiff and they hold the wheels in there pretty well, but the wheels they do pop off quite easily during transformation. Of course they're not coming out now when I'm pushing on them, but the last couple of times I've transformed it, the wheels just sort of pop straight off. Alright, that's that, and now onto the trailer. Now the trailer looks fantastic. It's got some really good paint details, really good actual like cast in plastic details, got some mechanical stuff up there. There's even a spare tire underneath. Now the trailer does have these support arms that come out. They don't touch the side, they're just to support these side bits, and then we do have the legs there. Now I have trouble getting these out, so I'm just going to use my tool here and just yank them out. Just like that. So, tons of detail going on in here, very reminiscent of the G1, especially with these circular sections here, and you do have the little repair bay bot, which comes out exactly as we expect it to on the double arm, with his little claw. Let's just come up a bit. There we go. Yeah, I think he looks great. Does he rotate? Oh yeah, he's just on a ball socket there. It's a pretty stiff ball socket, but still nice. Oh, and his little antenna is clear plastic on a ball socket, and that is very stiff. Come around. Is the cockpit open? Looks like it should. Nah, cockpit doesn't open. In any case, there it is like that. While we're looking at this, I'll just bring his pistol in. Typical looking prime gun. The sculpt is done really well on this. The details are quite sharp considering how small it is. Very, very cool. Definitely, unmistakably Prime's gun. No sprue marks, but, you know, cast well. I did see on a lot of Dutch reviews that this doesn't really fit very well, and it still doesn't, which is a bit of a shame. And is there somewhere to store this thing? No? Okay. Alright, so let's go on to this. Now we also have his little energy axe. which slots in like a lot of the Legend stuff slots in. He just holds onto it and it covers his fist. But we'll show both of these off in better detail in a moment. I nearly forgot. The back door's open as well. And where's his tray? 2 little ramps right there. That might be easier to pull out if I have it like this. What am I doing wrong? Is there a release button or something? Oh man, they do not want to come out. There we go. And they are in there. Ta-da! There you go. A couple of ramps. Alright, so the trailer has 2 little tabs just right there, which just friction slot into the back, just like that, and they rotate, and it holds on. Yeah, that's pretty good, considering the size and weight of this, and just how small these tabs are. Holds on excellent. Doesn't come off. Nothing. Have enough clearance with those toes. Plenty of clearance. Excellent. Alright, let's get him transformed up, shall we? So we're going to start with the legs. Now there's a tab here and a tab there just behind the fuel tanks, and it's really tight. Really tight. And you've got to sort of extend this section out just like that, and then we're just going to separate the legs, and we might as well fold the toe up now while we're here. Extend a double hinge out of this knee area like that, and the shin will come down. Right, like that. And then turn this whole section around and tab it in to the front of the shin. There we go. Now, usually when I do this, the hips pop straight off because these ball sockets, they hold in well enough, but they do pop off quite frequently. Alright, now into the front, we're just going to grab the arms here, pull them both out, and then just do your regular prime thing, like on the G1. Pull them out. Might as well just bring the head up now, rotate that around, close the back section up, grab this front section here and just untab, just like that. And with that out the way, bring this chest forward a little bit, and we're going to rotate around to his bot mode, just like that. Doesn't tab into anything, it just sits back in place like that. Next, let's just get these arms out of the way, fold these silver sections all the way around like that, and then rotate this around that way on both sides, and then these will fold up and come behind him just like that. Right, now we might as well do this bit, so we'll just flip that crutch plate up, rotate his waist, put it back down, then we've got a couple of tabs in here for the torso, just push that in like that, and we're just going to fold the hands out of the wrists. These ones are really tight on mine. Sit the head properly, and then you can just push the shoulders in, and that is him done. Now, before I get into the details, I'm just going to chuck his accessories on. So we'll just get his energy axe here, and it just slides onto his hand and pegs in, apparently. There we go. That is nice and secure. That is a very secure hold. Let's see if this one can actually hold his gun. It sounds like it's got a nice connection, but it does not. It's a shame, because that is a good look. That is a very good look. Alright. Anyway, on to Plissken / Nemesis himself. He looks absolutely amazing, doesn't he? Check out that head sculpt. That is fantastic. I'm absolutely digging that. A little bit of silver there going in the forehead. Got these great big spiky ears on the sides. Bit of light piping in the back there. Pretty big window for it. Anyway, so down to the chest here. I love the design choice that they've made to flip the chest around. That's something that they didn't have to do. They could have just left it with a flat chest, and I think a lot of people just would have accepted it. But they went a little bit further and did a reverse chest, which opens up to reveal a Nemesis matrix. It's not removable. It's just a solid piece of detail just in there with a little bit of red paint in the middle. Just done. It's done pretty well. Got some reflective metallic style turquoise paint there. Got the grey paint just around here just to break up the detail a little bit. I'm not sure why this is sticking out. I think I've transformed it wrong. There we go. Just had something a little bit out of alignment. Okay, so onto the shoulders. Got a slight butterfly here. We've got a very stiff ball socket there. Goes all the way out to there, and it's perfectly lined up with the smokestacks. I'm not feeling any limitation at all. That is just accessible at every angle. And then we have a double jointed elbow, so that, which is nice and stiff, and an upper bicep swivel, no wrist swivel. Alright, no waist swivel. For the legs, it's a little bit sucky, and it's probably one of the biggest complaints that I have about this in robot mode, and that is that flap there. If you want to pose him like very dynamically, the whole thing has to sort of come up, but to get the legs all the way forward, they don't actually go all the way forward, so it sort of looks like that. The solid flap, it's not a good idea, and considering that it doesn't contribute to the transformation much at all, they could have just had a solid turquoise square there to have these two flaps come up. I think that would have worked much better. But anyway, so we've got ball socket hips with a very good thigh rotation. I said no waist rotation, but you do have that transformation joint to rotate the hips, so I guess that counts. But then you got his little gunt here, which it's not a good look. All right, other side is nice and stiff as well. You have the full out, which I've got a little bit of a flop on one side, but it is holding on its own weight. Just give it a shake and it drops. And the forward and back. I'm limited on the back here from this bit of plastic here, but I think that's pretty far back. You don't really want him doing much more than that. Okay, and it's a little bit limited going out just by these top bits touching there. I think I'm just shaved off a little bit of paint doing that, actually. Okay. Onto the knee. Got a very, very stiff knee joint. Look at that. Not floppy at all. Looks great. And then down to one of my favorite parts of this, and that is the feet. Finally, legend scale figure with an ankle rocker. Look at that extreme rock. That is awesome. You can get some really, really dynamic and heroic looking poses with a bit of an ankle rocker. It's a little bit unstable because of this base. Look at the size of that foot. That is a lot of surface area. That is... There we go. I dig it. I really dig it. And the other knee is nice and stiff as well. I don't think I covered the head articulation. It's on a ball socket right there. And, you know, it's not loose, it's not tight. It's pretty good. And you can do whatever you want with it, really. It's not much up and down, but, yeah, whatever. Alrighty, so that is pretty much Plissken in a nutshell. So let's stand up first and get into some size comparisons. Hot Soldier Soundwave, Iron Factory Side Swipe. Hang on, let's just... Came in at the wrong spot, mate. Mech Fans Toy Starscream. So yeah, it's pretty clear, as we all know, the DX9 Hot Soldier stuff is a different legend scale. It's their oversized legend scale. It's never got to work with DX9. Iron Factory stuff is a bit of a closer scale, but they're just so aesthetically different, I don't think they fit. You've got a G1 sort of style here, and you've got an IDW style here. They just look like chalk and cheese. But anyway, nearly done. Before we get into final thoughts, I will just transform this up and show you this thing over his head in the repair bay mode. Come up a little bit. There we go. I think that looks fantastic. Let's just back it up. Very cool. Very cool. It's a great idea. I'm glad that they went with the whole repair bay thing and kept it looking so G1. It's a great looking piece. It looks so animation ready and just so G1. DX9, I think you've done a wonderful job. I hope nobody knocks it off anytime soon. I nearly forgot. Bot mode here is 10 and a bit centimeters, and the trailer is, what are we looking at, 14 centimeters. There you go. Final thoughts. Alright, so is it worth it and should you buy it? Well, I'm going to say if you're already collecting the DX9 scale or other DX9 bots, then yeah, for sure. The finish on this guy is fantastic. The paint is done really, really well. The engineering is fantastic. They've done some really clever things. They've got him still looking just so aesthetically G1 and straight out of the cartoon. This Prime is just absolutely chock full of articulation. Every joint moves exactly as you would want it, especially those feet and that ankle. The only two complaints that I have is maybe an ankle swivel might have been good, and the only other problem I have with Prime himself is that gun. There's so much articulation and he looks so dynamic, and you just get him looking very heroic, very dramatic, but that gun just takes away from it. You just got this big flappy panel and it's bright shiny silver. There's no missing it. It just really detracts away from the final look of this. But it is Legends. You do have to make some compromises when it comes to transformation and aesthetics. A little bit of a shame that he can't hold his gun properly. I mean, it's an easy fix, but considering the price point DX9 are putting these out for, it's just at that price level where I'm just a little bit like, oh, yeah, I don't know, hey, I don't know how badly I want this, especially because when there's competition coming out. So we'll just have to wait and see. But if this is what you're after, and you know you're collecting the other DX9, apart from the price and that floppy gun and a little bit of aesthetic that I didn't agree with, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no reason not to get it if you're already into this line. And that's it. Now, if you enjoyed my video and you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe to my channel. Remember to check out my Facebook for daily news and updates on KO and third-party stuff. Have an Instagram account, hashtag bots and bits, all one word. And as always, guys, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for watching.